get started. So you may well have been out with an assessment with your mentor, so they would have given you some pointers and some things to look at and some things to do, but you may be watching this before you have an opportunity to go out with a drive with a mentor. So let's go to basics, if you like. So the first thing to do is you'll need the essential skills. So if you haven't got a hard copy of this like this, download it before you watch any more of this video, because I'm going to refer to it. Okay, I'm going to read it verbatim, because that's up to you to do that, and I'm not going to go through it in the order it is in the book either, but I will try and make it reasonably clear what section I'm on and what we're looking at, because we're going to do it more in a constructed manner rather than jumping all over the different subjects. We're going to do it in a way that I think I would do if I was training you, in a way that sort of makes sense for you to go out and practice really. Okay, so the first section we're going to look at is section 3, the controls. Teaching to suck eggs a bit here. I'm not going to go through all this, but it covers all the controls, hand controls, foot controls, all that type of thing. What I would say is certainly worth watching, certainly worth having a look at, reading even, and looking at, because you may well be able to set your car up and all that sort of thing, but remembering that the whole point of the part 1 and part 2 is to get you to fully understand what we would be teaching pupils. So read the whole thing, have a look at what it's saying, and then later on, say when we look at teaching people, you'll know what you need to teach. So basically you can see it goes into quite a lot of detail. It sort of covers all the different elements, you know, warning lights and windscreen washers and the show me tell me questions, all those types of things, which we'll put the questions in the link on this video, because you'll be asked show me tell me questions. You'll be asked 5. The link I put up says 2, but I can't find a link for the ADI test, but it's the same questions. You'll just be asked 5 rather than 2, so just be aware of that. So you need to know things like where your windscreen washers are. You're probably going to take it in your own car, because that makes sense. You can take it in automatic if you need to. So you find out, you know, where windscreen washers are, horn you probably know, air conditioning, all that type of stuff, how to check the oil and the water and that sort of thing. But have a look through those questions, which you'll see in a link above or below this video, depending on where I put it, but it will be on this video, so have a look at that and just say, look at it, learn what the controls are. And it sounds a bit daft, but go and sit in your car and play a bit, play with the controls. Make sure your seat is correctly fitted, not fitted, but it's in the right place, so make sure you can reach the pedals. I'm sure you do that already. I don't want you to teach you to suck eggs, but be aware of the levers, because you might, if it's your car and you're the only one that drives it, you probably don't fiddle around with it very much. So find out what the levers do, how you would think about how you might describe that to a pupil, you know, without using technical language. So when you're doing this, always think about, how would I describe this to a pupil? So lifting the, you know, if you lift, mine's a lever, lift it there. I'd have to tell the people to hold it on here, to get shooting back like that. So things like that. Think about the process. So think, oh, well, you might automatically hold the steering wheel, but when you're doing that, when you're having a little play, think about what you're doing, because you're going to have to pass it on to other people. I'm going to keep saying that, I'm afraid. So think about what we're trying to do now when we drive, is think a lot more of what we're doing and how we're doing it and why we're doing it, as opposed to be on autopilot, because everything you do at the moment is probably autopilot, and we want to bring it to our conscious, think about it, put it back in our subconscious. So get to play with the car, see if the steering wheel goes up and down. Mine does, for example. I didn't know that until it was a year old and the pupil needed to adjust it, and we worked it out and it adjusts. My seat goes up and down, backwards and forwards. The rake at the back of the seat goes up and down, so again, play with it. Think about where the levers, how you would describe that to someone. Are you going to get them to hold it slightly, otherwise it can go like that, disappear, that sort of thing, or go like that. And so think about, yeah, have a play with these things and see what happens, see how you would describe it, learn it for yourself. Think about that you'd put the handbrake on first and neutral before you start fiddling around, otherwise the car could be rolling down the hill. So I'm not going to go into this too much, I want you to just go and have a play, but just play with your car, see what it does. Think about opening doors and how you would do that and how you would hold it if the wind caught it and all that sort of stuff. And I can go into all that stuff, and I may well do later, but I want you to think about this a bit as well. Use the book and use your common sense and have a think. But basically, for the controls lesson, have a play, see what it says, go out and have a play in your own car. And you don't need to video yourself or anything, I don't think, for this. Just have a play, adjust the seat and all that type of stuff, and you'll get a good idea of what we would teach and how we would teach a pupil.